In 2019, the Golden State Warriors picked Jordan Poole with their 28th overall pick. As a result of that 28th pick, a pool party came to the Bay Area and was invaluable as he helped the Warriors capture the 2022 championship. Then, just a few short weeks ago in the 2023 NBA draft,
with the 28th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, with the 28th pick, the Golden State Warriors select Patrick Baldwin Jr. from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
PBJ is what they call him. Sheesh, guys. Now in San Fran, you're gonna have the Splash Brothers hanging out at a pool party with some peanut butter and jelly. Let's start this video off with the young bloods. The Warriors drafted Patrick Baldwin Jr. with the 28th pick, Ryan Rollins with the 44th pick, and Guy Santos with the 55th pick. Three young guns with some serious potential, and if there's any team that can polish a diamond, it's the Golden State Warriors. Let's take a look at Patrick Baldwin Jr. first. Standing 6'10" with a near 7'2" wingspan, PBJ has the typical physical attributes of a player who can become a star in the league. And I did some further digging, and apparently at one point in time, PBJ was considered the #1 ranked player in his high school class. An NBA scout said of him at the time, "He's modern day basketball. He's what you look for. 6'10", can move, dribble, shoot, really good kid." After high school, Baldwin Jr. went on to play for Milwaukee, where his father coached at the time, but unfortunately, injuries plagued him and he didn't have the greatest season. Reports go on to say that if he didn't have a catastrophic injury-plagued season in college, he likely would have been a top 10 pick in the draft. I watched some of his highlights online, and honestly, when he's at his best, he reminds me of Michael Porter Jr. I mean, he can shoot the long ball, grab rebounds, has decent handles, could get to the rim, and could also shoot that mid-range. If the Warriors could help him develop how they developed Jordan Poole, then my goodness, guys, he's gonna be a beast, and perhaps the steal of the 2022 draft. Next off, let's talk about Ryan Rollins. Standing at about 6'3" with a near 6'10" wingspan, the second-year guard out of Toledo just finished a college season where he averaged about 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 3.6 assists, while shooting about 47% from the field, 31% from three-point range, and 80% at the free throw line. I watched a bit of his highlights online, and the kid can play make. He can dribble in traffic, and he can get his own bucket. Although he doesn't have superstar projections, check this out. His sophomore season in college looks absolutely identical to George Hill's college sophomore stats, and we all know how Greg Popovich loved Hill when he was in San Antonio. If the Warriors can groom this kid well, there's no reason why he can't be an impactful player like the former Spurs player. Next off, let's take a look at the 55th overall pick, Guy Santos. Santos stands at 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's athletic, he can shoot the long ball, and he can put the ball on the ground and finish around the rim. In his summer league debut against the Sacramento Kings, Santos went for a team-high 23 points and looked smooth like butter. I mean, look at his one dribble pull-up here. And then here, he grabs the offensive rebound, and with his footwork, he gets to the rim and finishes. The Warriors' future certainly looks bright. I mean, Steph Curry's dream is to get Jordan Poole to become an all-star, Kuminga to become an all-defensive player, and Wiseman to become an MVP candidate. With Curry's guidance on and off the court, all these new young drafts are going to have everything they need to maximize their potential, and that's going to make the Warriors absolutely scary for the next decade. Now, just before I move on to my next point, I just want to point out that because the Warriors' 2023 season is going to be one with championship aspirations, it's unlikely that any of these new rookies will crack the playoff rotation. In fact, even in the regular season, we'll probably see them more in the G League than we will on the NBA hardwood floor, similar to what we saw from Kuminga and Moody last season. Anyway, now that we got that out of the way, next off we have free agency rumors and actual free agency signings and targets. I'm going to start off here with the elephant in the room, Kevin Durant. Now, according to reports I've read, the Suns, Raptors, Heat, and Warriors are at the forefront of the teams that are capable of pulling off this trade. If the Warriors do get Kevin Durant, and if they stay healthy, they're going to be champion favorites for the next 2 to 3 years, and in addition, the NBA will probably once again be completely unbalanced. I mean, what team in the league is going to be able to stop Steph, Clay, and Durant? The answer is none. And we saw it already when they swept LeBron James in the 2018 finals. On top of that, we just saw Steph Curry single-handedly rip apart one of the best defenses the NBA has seen in the last decade, and to add Durant into the mix is just unfair. Now, on the backside of this trade, the Warriors will likely have to mortgage their entire future. I mean, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Kuminga, Moody, Wiseman, as per mock drafts, all of these guys will have to go, plus maybe some picks. Sheesh, guys. After already losing 1/3 of the roster in free agency, losing another third seems pretty devastating, especially for a team that is already in the championship discussion for 2023. So, as much as I'd love for KD to become a Warrior again, if I were in Bob Myers' position, the price tag is just too much. One thing is for sure though, if KD does end up joining the Warriors again, Charles Barkley is going to have an insane segment on TNT's Inside the NBA. I mean, with all that talk about the bus driver just a few short months ago, can you imagine what he'll say if Kevin Durant comes back to the Warriors after they just won another championship? Anyway, moving on here. Let's get on to who the Warriors have acquired so far and what are some realistic targets to help strengthen the roster. Dante DiVincenzo was a great pick for Golden State. The man was once coined the nickname the Michael Jordan of Delaware and has been a champion at every level in basketball. I mean, he's won 2 consecutive state championships back in high school, 2 in the NCAA, and was part of the 2021 Milwaukee Bucks team that went on to win the championship. In addition, he's just about to enter his prime, as he'll be turning 26 when the 2023 playoffs roll around. He's definitely not the defender that Gary Payton was, but he's no slouch either. He's athletic, is a good rebounding guard, can finish above the rim, plays unselfish basketball, and in his championship season with the Bucks just 2 seasons ago, he shot about 38% from three-point range. A great pick for the Warriors, and in my opinion, while he doesn't fill the gap left by GP2 and Otto Porter, he could definitely add a new dimension to the 2023 Warriors. Moving on here, as for depth, the Warriors will still need to add just a few more pieces to finish up the roster. Some names currently floating around in free agency are Dwight Howard, DeMarcus Cousins, Hassan Whiteside, Blake Griffin, and last of all, Bo Cruz. Juancho Hernangomez. Man, I can call him Juancho, but at this point in time, I think we gotta call him the Cruz Missile. Anyway, in his last 17 games for Utah last season, Bo Cruz averaged nearly 44% from three-point range, and in 2 other seasons, he averaged over 35% from deep. With the Warriors, he'll be getting a ton of open threes with the amount of double teams that Steph and Poole will generate. The only thing we gotta watch for is to make sure Ant-Man doesn't trash talk his daughter when the Warriors play the Timberwolves. If you don't get that reference, then you gotta go watch some Netflix, seriously. Anyways, in the next few weeks, we'll see what Bob Myers pulls out for the rest of free agency. I heard a report that there's like 15 to 20 guys on the 9th floor of the Warriors headquarters who are constantly watching film, trying to find players who are best fit for the team. So, as for now, I think the best thing for all of us to do is to just sit back and watch this video right here. Because the truth is, guys, I'm already on the other side.